Hello everyone, so lovely to have you here yet again for our next lesson with the wonderful A Course in Miracles. And today our lesson is 187, and it's such a beautiful lesson. They all are to me, but this one really, it just touches my heart because it's all about understanding the truth about giving. So I'm going to read through the lesson. The link is under the video for the text of today's lesson, and we'll get straight into it. So the statement that we will be recalling in our minds throughout today is, I bless the world because I bless myself. No one can give unless he has. In fact, giving is proof of having. We have made this point before. What seems to make it hard to credit is not this. No one can doubt that you must first possess what you give, what you would give. It is the second phase on which the world and true perception differ. Having had and given, then the world asserts that you have lost what you possessed. The truth maintains that giving will increase what you possess. How is this possible? For it is sure that if you give a finite thing away, your body's eyes will not perceive it yours. Yet we have learned that things but represent the thoughts that make them. And you do not lack for proof that when you give ideas away, you strengthen them in your mind. Perhaps the form in which the thought seems to appear is changed in giving, yet it must return to him who gives. Nor can the form it takes be less acceptable. It must be more. So basically what this is saying is that when we give away something. Our old way of looking at it is that, if you give something away, you're going to lose that thing that you gave away, right? But what the Course is saying, the more that you give away in whatever form, the more you get back in abundance. But you don't get it back in the same form that it went, it can come back so different and so much more in its difference. So, if you loan somebody, gave somebody, shouldn't say loan, but if you gave somebody £100 or $100, and it's not that you would get that back or get that back in double. I mean, you might, that could happen, it's not that it couldn't, but it could come back in a different form completely. And that's what we're trying to get aware of with the Course, to realize that the things that we're giving are not so much about the thing itself, it's about the thought of giving that is the energy that is moving as we do this. Because nothing is real, remember, we're living an illusion. And it's all created through the mind. So once we change our mind, get into a much more positive way of looking at giving, in a way that is going to just increase your wealth, so it's not that it's like everybody gains, it's a win-win in giving, in the true meaning of giving, the way the Course lays out. So when you give, you're going to get so much more. You give a book away and you could get loads more ideas for a book that you could write yourself, that you just don't know. It's like quantum physics. The world is full of opportunities. It's all about changing your mind and the focus and moving into totally new directions. So ideas must first belong to you before you give them. If you are to save the world, you first accept salvation for yourself. But you will not believe that this is done until you see the miracles it brings to everyone you look upon. Herein is the idea of giving clarified and given meaning. Now you can perceive that by giving, your giving is your store increased. And just to reiterate there, it's like you've got to realize the power that lies within you, so that it's like you're going to that place inside knowing that there is so much in you to give. Once you realize that, it's like, this is a never-ending source within me. That knowledge comes, then you can give, because you know every time I give, it comes back more, and I give and it comes back more, and I give and it comes back more. So protect all things you value by the act of giving them away, and you are sure that you will never lose them, when you thought you did not have it, thereby proving yours. Yet value not its form, for this will change and grow unrecognizable in time, however much you try to keep it safe. No form endures. It is the thought behind the form of things that lies unchangeable. Give gladly. You can only gain thereby. The thought remains and grows in strength as it is reinforced by giving. Thoughts extend as they are shared, for they cannot be lost. There is no giver and receiver in the sense the world conceives of them. There is a giver who retains, another who will give as well. And both must gain in this exchange, for each will have the thought in form most helpful to him. What he seems to lose is always something he will value less than what will surely be returned to him. Never forget you give but to yourself. Who understands what giving means must laugh at the idea of sacrifice. Nor can he fail to recognize the many forms which sacrifice may take. He laughs as well at pain and loss, at sickness and at grief, at poverty, starvation and at death. He recognizes sacrifice remains the one idea that stands between them all, and in his general laughter are they healed. So yes, when you come to that understanding that sacrifice, the meaning behind sacrifice is but an illusion, it's not true, it's so false, and in releasing sacrifice, you're just opening the floodgates to abundance, to so much coming into your life when you let these crazy ideas just go. Illusion recognized must disappear. Accept not suffering, and you remove the thought of suffering. Your blessing lies on everyone who suffers when you choose to see all suffering as what it is. The thought of sacrifice gives rise to all the forms that suffering appears to take, and sacrifice is an idea so mad that sanity dismisses it at once. Never believe that you can sacrifice. There is no place for sacrifice in what has any value. If the thought occurs, its very presence proves that error has arisen and correction must be made. Your blessing will correct it. Given first to you, it now is yours to give as well. No form of sacrifice and suffering can long endure before the face of one who has forgiven and has blessed himself. The lilies that your brothers and sisters offers you are laid upon your altar, and with the ones you offer him and her beside them. Who could fear to look upon such lovely holiness? The great illusion of fear of God diminishes to nothingness before the purity that you will look on here. Be not afraid to look. The blessedness you will behold will take away all thought of form, and leave instead the perfect gift forever there, forever to increase, forever yours, forever given away. So yes, it's like you're realizing the lilies are within you. That's kind of the analogy they're giving here, is these lilies, and that as you give them to your brothers and sisters, more and more appear on your altar. It's like that's a symbol of what happens when you give away. You see how much in abundance is there. You give these away and then they come back to you, and it's just piles. And it makes you want to keep giving. Now are we one in thought, for fear has gone. And here before the altar to one God, one Father, one Creator, and one thought, we stand together as one son and daughter of God. Not separate from him, who is our source, not distant from one brother or sister who is part of our one self, whose innocence has joined us all as one. We stand in blessedness and give as we receive. The name of God is on our lips, and as we look within, we see the purity of heaven shine in our reflection of our Father's love. Now are we blessed, and now we bless the world. What we have looked upon we would extend, for we would see it everywhere. We would behold it shining with the grace of God in everyone. We would not have it be withheld from anything we look upon. And to ensure this holy sight is ours, we offer it to everything we see. For where we see it, it will be returned to us in form of lilies we can lay upon our altar, making it a home for innocence itself, who dwells in us and offers us his holiness as ours. Wow. So that is our lesson of the day. I bless the world because I bless myself. And as always, we're asked to practice twice in the day if we can, 5 to 30 minutes in the morning, and sit maybe thinking about those lilies. You know, you could bring it into a meditation in a way, closing your eyes and imagining them being within you. You know, those lilies are the light, or you could have like a sun or whatever is going to feel like so expansive and so beautiful to you, and allow it to shine and know that that is yours always. And as you give away, it just unfolds in its beauty, you know, and everybody else is able to feel that as well. It's like as you give, it's like there's a golden light lights up in them. It's like you're lighting up the world by giving, and as you do, it's like you just keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter. It's such a beautiful lesson, because I think a lot of the times in this world we do feel like we're losing when we give away things, when we give away our time, our money, our things, our, you know, whatever it is. It's like there is this kind of feeling of owing or something in the world, you know, when we can diminish all of that and realize that, you know, I just want to be the being here that is able to extend and do things that are going to, you know, just add joy to the world. It's not always easy, you know, because life and the way we have followed the thought forms has always caused this kind of suffering, this kind of grievance, this kind of so many forms it can take in where you feel you've lost something. So you really need to look upon how you give and just let go of what you expect. Like, let the expectancy go, let the sacrifice go, as it said, and just realize that there is no loss, there's no sacrifice, not in the true way of the world. And so if you can do that and remind yourself on the hour, every hour, for a couple of minutes, to be guided to give from that place in your heart, then you'll have a wonderful day. Okay? So that's the lesson of the day. Have a lovely time with it. Take care. Bye.